Namaste, everyone. Today we're going to celebrate the energy, the power of Devi, the Divine Mother, represented in the goddess Durga. Durga means fortress, or the invincible one. She's pictured with 8 arms, each carrying weapons in order to slay delusion, ignorance, negative energy, anything evil. She rides on a lion, or sometimes is depicted riding on a tiger. And Devi, the Divine Mother, is the source from where the whole world has emerged. The feminine represents Shakti. Shakti is the primal energy which everything comes from. It's not somewhere else, it's in us, it's around us, it's in everything. And we all have some masculine, some feminine energy within us, this Shiva Shakti balance, the yin, yang, light, dark, strong, gentle, this balance, this play of energies. Today it's time to tap into our inner goddess. So come to a comfortable seated position, and I want you to take a mudra. This is a gesture with the hands or the body. Yoni mudra is where we touch the index fingers together and the thumbs to make a downwards pointing triangle. The other 3 fingers are tucked in, and we bring that to our pelvic area. Okay, this is Swadhisthani chakra, the energy around the hips, the pelvis. This represents creation, creativity, fertility. So closing the eyes, breathe into this energy, invoking the goddess Durga and all that she represents: courage, strength, fortitude, tenacity, bringing that into our practice today. Durga enables us to face our fears. She gives us the courage and strength to make changes for the better, to step into the places that challenge us. So releasing the mudra now, bringing your hands onto your knees. We're going to take some pelvic circles. If your sacrum does not like the idea of being rotated around, then come to lying on your back and gently make circles with the knees. We want to get these hips moving, circling one way and then the other. Feeling grounded, so concentrating the energy into the ground and feeling the energy coming up from it. Bringing that to stillness now. If you're cross-legged, you might want to change the cross of your legs. If cross-legged is not for you, then perhaps come to kneeling. If kneeling is not possible, then feet out in front. We're going to take a forward bow, a bow to the goddess. So either cross-legged, kneeling or legs out in front. Bring the hands to the heart, nice tall spine, inhaling. Exhale forward, trying to hinge from the hips. Bring the hands to the earth, but keep a nice straight spine and take a couple of inhale, exhales to bow down. Maybe walking the hands forward, maybe bending the elbows, bringing the forearms to the ground if they want to come there. And let the head release now, let the back release. Coming into your full forward fold for now, for the start of the class. We're going to learn about a great battle that Durga fought against Mahishasura. Mahishasura was a man with great devotion to the gods. He practiced relentlessly, and his efforts were noticed by the gods. They offered to grant him a boon, a bonus. Mahishasura asked to be made immortal. He asked that no animal, no man, no god could kill him. And he was granted these invincible powers. So one more bow down to Durga and then pressing yourself upwards. I want you to come into a toe balance. So come on to perching on your toes. Okay, fingertips can stay on the floor. Again, if this is not right for you, come to sitting. Nice upright chest as best you can. Bring the hands to the heart. You can stay in this balance. And we're taking another mudra now, Kali mudra. Kali is an incarnation of Durga, strong one. So crossing, linking the fingers. Index fingers point up. And I want the left thumb over the right today to represent the domination of the feminine energy over the masculine. Bring that to your heart. So the gods realized they had made a terrible mistake when Mahishasura took the image, the form of a giant black bull and wreaked havoc throughout the world. He demanded people worship him. The world fell into darkness and the gods could do nothing about it. They came together and realized they had not stated that he could not be defeated by a woman. Concentrating all of their energies together, they gave birth to Durga. Press down into the feet now. Use the strength of your legs. You can come into a forward fold first if you prefer. And we're going to push ourselves up, rising up. The creation of Durga, rising, lifting the hands above the head. Nice big inhale there, and then separate the hands, big circle all the way around to the heart. Bring the hands back to prayer. Imagine that you are an incarnation now of this goddess energy. Inhaling, bringing the arms out to the side, drawing in the energy from the universe. Bring it back to the heart on the exhale. Embody the feminine power of love and compassion. Deep breaths there. Good. Take Kali mudra again. Shoot that energy up on an inhale. And we're going to come into a side bend. So on the exhale, coming over to your right. Breathing into the stretch you feel all along the left side of the body. 3 breaths here. Tipping the hips out a little more on that final breath. And then coming up to standing. Inhaling in the middle. Exhale over to the left. Okay, letting the pose evolve. Tilting the weight a little more into the right edge of that foot. And inhale up. Exhale, hands come back to Anjali Mudra, prayer posture at the heart. And release. So Durga is strong and can be ferocious. We're going to take fierce pose, Utkatasana, chair pose. So feet maybe a little way apart, feel nice and stable. We want to keep those knees pointing forward. Inhale, lift the arms up over the head. Exhale, bend the knees, sit the hips back as though you were finding a chair behind you. Good. Nice long spine. Draw the tailbone down. Strong posture for the arms. You can always bring them in front of you, the chair, instead of up alongside the ears. But now I want you all to breathe in and draw the arms back to cactus. Okay, cactus arms like this represent the goddess energy. So Draw the shoulder blades back. Tip down a little more if you can. Good. Nice big breath in. Exhale into a bow. Bowing down, touching the ground. Make this soft. So from that fierceness comes a gentle bow. Bow down with bent knees. Shake out the head gently, yes and no. Let the back be long. And let's stretch out those hamstrings a little, bringing the hands up to the shins. Come up into a half forward fold on an inhale, long spine. Hips go up, head goes down on the exhale. So the legs are straightening into that hamstring stretch. Try that again. Inhale, knees can bend a little. Come into that flat backed half forward fold. Exhale, revisit your bow down to the ground. Bowing down as best you can. And then inhale, we're going to bend the knees, come back into chair pose. Again, hands can come forward or up beside the ears. Breathe here, press down through the feet, strong pose. Inhale. Exhale, draw the hands back, cactus pose. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring the hands down to the heart. Good. Now, take the feet about as wide as your mat, so a good wide stance. I'm going to get into these hips a little more. So hands on your hips, take some pelvic circles, nice and slow, making the movements as big as you can. So slowly getting those circles bigger, pausing and going the other way. So we're stirring up our creativity. Good. Bringing it to stillness. Ready for some squats. Okay, strong on the legs. Maybe you want your hands on your thighs. Maybe they stay on your hips. We're going to inhale with straight legs. Exhale, bend the knees, squat down. Inhale, come back up again. Exhale, squatting down. Good. Inhale up. This time we're going to stay in our squat. Okay, breathe here. Lift the heart, long tailbone again. Sink down a little more on the exhale. Maybe you turn the toes out to the side. Can you come down a little further? You can always come to sitting now. Okay, if you can, you're now in a squatting pose called Malasana. Okay, draw the elbows inside the knees to push them apart. Stretch those hip flexors. If this is not happening for you, then sit on the ground, press the feet into the floor and bring the elbows between the knees. So I want a little bit of work going on here. So Durga sat at the base of the Himalayas and did her practices, her meditations, chanted her mantras, and Mahishasura noticed that the world began to get light. Birds started singing, courtship rituals began again, life was coming back into the world. The very mountains that she sat at the base of started to glow. Mahishasura was furious. So inhale here, bring the hands to the floor. You can stay sat if you want to and shake out the legs. Bow it down and come to tabletop pose. So Durga rides on a lion or a tiger. We're going to become that tiger now. This tiger pose we're going to do. From tabletop posture, hands under the shoulders. I want you to lift up the right leg behind you with a bent knee. Point the toes. This is your tiger tail. Look forward. On an inhale, lift the back knee, lift the head, lift the heart into a gentle back bend. As you exhale, draw the knee underneath. Look towards that knee, round the spine. And again. So think of a tiger bounding through the jungle. This sort of strength and control that you want in this posture. Lift up the toes now. Keep them here. And if you can, I want you to bring the left hand around to grab hold of your tiger's tail. Doesn't matter if you don't find that foot. You can either point towards it or you could come down onto forearms for a little more stability in this posture. On the inhale, we're going to lift the back knee, lift the head to open the heart, lift across the front of the chest. Exhale, release it down a little. One more time. Inhale, lifting up, pulling the tiger's tail, and exhale down again. Let's do that all on the other side. If you feel a little unstable, then bring the knees closer together. Then that remaining knee is going to be more in the centre. So lift the left knee now behind you. Point the toes up to the sky. That's your tiger's tail. Inhale, lift the knee, lift the heart, lift the head. Exhale, draw the knee underneath. Draw everything in. Engage those core muscles. Lifting out again. Inhale. Exhale, tucking everything in, drawing underneath. One more time, lifting the tail. And then you decide how you're going to spend these next couple of breaths. Okay, you could come down onto your forearms. You could point the fingers back at the foot, or you might be able to catch hold of it. Inhale, lifting this posture. Exhale, releasing a little. Inhale, lifts the back knee, lifts the gaze. And then that joyful release, come back to child pose. Let the hips sink back towards the heels and rest. Mahishasura was furious. Who dared bring lightness into his dark world? So he sought out Durga and they went into battle. It was a battle to last more than 9 days. Rise up now into tabletop pose. Every time that Durga came close to slaying the demon Mahishasura, he would change shape, change form. So we're going to do a few postures now to represent that battle. Lift the right knee up behind. Let the right foot be heavy. Okay, starting to open across the hips. The right foot is dropping towards the left hip. The front of the hips opens. It's like a dog finding a tree that it wants to mark as its own. Push into that left hand and flip yourself over. Let that right foot find the floor. You can either open up from here, stretching out through the top hand, or come to sitting. If you come to sitting, you might want to stretch out that left foot and then the right hand. Good. Inhale here to finish. Exhale, roll yourself back over into tabletop pose. Settle yourself in the center. And let's try that on the other side. I'm going to turn around. The left foot lifts up behind, drops over towards the right hip. We press into the right hand and we flip ourselves over, either opening as we are here or coming to sitting, stretching out the right leg and opening up. You can look up to the sky, lift the heart, nice big inhales. And flip yourself back over, coming back to tabletop pose. From here, we're going to come into pigeon pose. Pigeon pose can either be taken forward facing, or there's an alternative reverse pigeon where we lie on our backs. It's all about hip opening. So reverse pigeon, we'll be taking the right foot, resting it on the left knee, opening that hip up, and to increase this stretch, lifting the foot off the floor. Okay, that's an option. If you have any issues with knees, hips, maybe the lower back might be a good option for you. You're welcome to stay kneeling and wait here, or you can follow me into downward facing dog and we can come into pigeon pose from that position. So hands in front of the shoulders, tuck the toes, lifting into downward facing dog. The right leg lifts up and you come into a three-legged dog pose. Push the hands into the mat. Feel that extension through the back leg. And then swing right knee towards right wrist. People kneeling on all fours, you join us here. Swing that right knee towards the right wrist. People lying on their backs, that right foot is resting up near the left knee. Lift your pigeon chest. Inhale here. Sink down on the exhale into the hips. That left leg is stretching out straight behind. And you want to keep the hips square with the front of the mat. The more you bring the foot forward, the more intense the stretch is. Okay, so have that at the right angle for you. Keeping the foot flexed is going to protect the knee joint. We're going to transform from a pigeon into a sleeping swan. So bringing the heart forward now, forward, forward. Don't think about coming down, it's forward. Lengthen the body and resting down. You can stay on forearms. You can bring the head to the mat. You can lengthen out the arms and really sinking into those hips. Should feel a nice juicy stretch. If you're on your back, lifting the foot off of the floor, bringing the legs towards you, that's going to increase the stretch that you feel in the hips. Breathe into it. And then to come out, we're going to slowly start walking the hands back towards us. Lifting upright once more, tucking the toes and stepping back either to kneeling or down dog. You might want to walk the legs out. People in reverse pigeon, you stay on your backs. You come out of the posture, knees together, feet wide apart, constructive rest pose, ready to change sides. Okay, so we're inhaling the left foot up into the air. If you're in downward facing dog, we come into three-legged dog. Look towards your left wrist, swing the knee towards it. Okay, if you're lying down, you're bringing that foot up onto the opposite knee, just up near the knee. Inhale, lift your pigeon chest. Exhale, sink down. Good. And then start your journey, transforming into an elegant sleeping swan. Okay, feeling down into this stretch. Gravity is taking you down into this stretch in the hips. If you're lying in reverse pigeon, lift the foot off the floor, see how that feels. You can always work dynamically in and out of this posture, forward facing or lying on your back. In front facing pigeon, draw the left hip back and the right hip forward, because I can guarantee those hips will want to be at a little skew with angle. We want them square to the front of the mat to get the benefit out of this pose, the maximum benefit. The head should be relaxed, the neck should be relaxed. Allow yourself to sink down into the ground. And then rise up again. Imagine you are Mahishasura and he's rising up from his latest form, changing his form. Okay, tuck the toes, step it back, either down dog or kneeling. If you're lying on your back, then gently roll over and come up to kneeling. You can relax down either back into child pose, or maybe you want to lay on your tummy and bring the head onto the hands, crocodile pose, rest. So one of the things Mahishasura changed into was a great bird. Maybe pigeon isn't quite a great bird, but you get the idea. So everybody coming back to tabletop posture now. And we're going to come into a low lunge with the right foot forward. Again, you can do this from kneeling. Otherwise, come with me into downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up, pushing the heels down towards the floor. Nice long spine. And then the right leg is going to lift up. And we swing that knee forward, pushing with the back foot to bring ourselves so that the foot lands between the hands. And if it doesn't matter. Drop the back knee down, shuffle, lift, adjust that foot. So we want to end up with the right knee over the right ankle. And that back knee goes back at a little bit of a slope. You can pad it up if you want to for extra support. Inhale, lift the hands onto the front thigh. Establish yourself there. Long tailbone, lifting up through the crown of the head. Hands come to the heart and we take our Kali Mudra. Okay, strong goddess Kali. Roll the shoulders back. You can keep the hands here at the heart, or you can lift them up on an inhale, pointing up at the sky, coming into a gentle back bend if you wish. Press down into the feet and into that shin. Good. We're going to fire some arrows from here. So inhale, the fingers point up at the sky. Exhale, you twist so that you're pointing to your right hand side. Inhale, you can either be bringing the hands to the heart or up above the head. Exhale, shoot out those arrows. Okay, come a little more into the twist each time. One last time. Inhale. Exhale, turning to your edge. Don't force it. Keep that front knee facing forwards over the front ankle. Inhale to come out and exhale. Hands come down to frame the front foot. So now we're going to bow over this front leg. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the gaze forward. As you exhale, draw the hips back, especially this right hip. It's going to want to creep forwards. The front toes can lift up if you want to, and you bow down. Inhale, bend the knee. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, draw the hips back. Feel the stretch in the back of your leg, then release out of it. One last time. As we exhale back, we're going to take a bow and stay there for a deep breath. Can you draw the hips a little further back? And then release. Well done. Tuck the back toes under. Come up into your high lunge and start walking your hands around to the front of the mat. I'm going to turn around so that I'm facing you. So you should now have all 10 toes pointed to the wide length of your mat. Edges of the feet start parallel. Bend the knees so we can soften into this forward fold. And as Durga shot spears at Mahishasura, he changed into a bull elephant whose hide was so tough that the spears, the arrows just bounced off. So I want you to imagine that your hands and arms now represent the elephant's trunk. Get a little sway going from side to side, bending one knee at a time. Again, looking for that fluidity, that movement in the hips. Okay, moving the sacrum. You can imagine now Durga is battling a giant bull elephant. Think of that strength. Ground down into the feet with that strength. Bring yourself to stillness. Take a bow. And then nice deep bend in the knees. Turn the toes so that toes are pointing out to the corners of the mat. So the heels are closer together. We're going to rise up into goddess pose from here. You might want to heel toe the feet a little closer. So pushing down and using the power of the legs, push down into the feet. The hands can come to the thighs, the hips, or out to the sides. As you push down, you rise up. The legs straighten, the arms straighten. Lift the arms up above your head to make this star shape. Feel the energy of this expansive posture. And then exhale into goddess. Elbows bend, cactus arms, knees bend. Okay, we are looking for the knees to be going out over the feet. If you look down and you can see the knees inside the feet, heel toe a little closer together. Okay, you want to be strong. Joints over joints is what we're aiming for. And as open across the hips as you can manage. Breathe in and draw the shoulders back. The shoulder blades squeeze together. Lovely, and feel powerful, okay? Hands are spread. Goddess pose. Let's stretch up into star shape again. Inhale here, exhale down. Draw that energy down with you. Inhale, open out the arms. Exhale, hands come to thighs and you bow deeply. Bowing down and then push up, roll up into your star shape. Reaching up to the heavens, drawing down that energy. Lovely. Opening out with the hands, bowing down. This time let the hands come to the floor, straighten out the legs. Walk yourself around back to the front of your mat, coming through your lunge position, step it back. Either downward facing dog for a breath or coming straight to kneeling and resting. Your choice, child, or you can lie on your tummy, whatever is right for you. And breathe. So Durga took a goblet of wine. This is no ordinary wine. She's drinking wine of the gods. And she quaffed great quantities of this wine, giving her extra fortitude, strength and courage. Okay, so rise up to tabletop. We have to do that all on the other side. Inhaling here, nice long spine. Exhaling, you're either coming into downward facing dog or you can stay on your knees. We're going to lift the left foot up behind us, stretching through that left foot. Inhale there and exhale, swing it forwards. Bringing the foot between the hands as best you can. Drop the back knee down, set yourself up in this low lunge posture. So the foot comes between the hands, the back knee is sloping back. Press down into the feet. Rise up, bring the hands onto the thigh. Bringing the hands to the heart, take Kali Mudra. Nice deep breaths, shoulders roll down and back. If you want to, lifting the arms up now, above the head. Coming into a little back bend if that feels good. Preparing yourself for firing these arrows, for throwing these spears. Inhale here, exhale, turning and shooting the arms over to the left. Coming into that twist, gently to start with. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, turning and pointing. One more time. Remember, you can bring the hands back to the heart and then shoot them out on the exhale. Inhale finishes this and exhale bows the hands down to the floor. From here, we're going to draw the hips back into a bow. So inhale in your low lunge. Exhale, slowly take the hips back. Front toes can lift a little. Stretch out the hamstrings. Come forward again. Inhaling. Exhaling. Try and take the hips back straight so they're not going skew with. Draw that left hip back. Last bow. Stay here for a breath. Breathe into the back of the leg and then release. Come forwards. Tuck the back toes under. Walk yourself around into your wide-legged forward fold. This time, take the hands in a figure 8. So swaying from side to side, drawing figure 8 on the floor. Maybe taking the hands out past the feet this time. Can you get that sway in the hips, that fluidity in the movement? Let the head go. The whole body is involved in this flowing movement, summoning up courage from the earth, bringing it to stillness in the center. Turn those toes, so toes point to the front corners of the mat. Press down into the feet and rise up, straightening the legs, straightening the arms, reach up to the skies. Exhale, come into goddess pose and re-establish yourself, okay? Stronger, more determined than before, ready to go into battle. Let's come through our sequence. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, drawing energy down. Inhale, opening to the side. Exhale, bowing. One more time. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, drawing energy down. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, bowing down. Stay here this time. So nice deep dip of the hips. As close as possible, the legs being at a 90-degree angle. Inhale and lengthen out through the spine. So nice flat back. We're going to take some twists here. So hands with the fingers facing forward, if that's okay for you. Inhale into the crown of the head in the center. Exhale, dip the left shoulder, look to your right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, dip the right shoulder, look to your left. Inhale to center. And again, one more time each side. Make the movements slow. Make them strong. Coming back to the center now.
So this bit is optional. You can either come into your forward fold straight away, straightening the legs if that's what you want to do, or there's a very fierce version of Goddess. You can come up onto your toes. Hands can stay where they are. They can come to the hips, or they can stretch out to the side. Okay, well done. Keep breathing. This is hard work on the body. Lovely. Think about those core muscles, everyone. Draw everything in. And then come down into your wide-legged forward fold.
And turn yourself back around to the front of the mat. Step it back. Walking up the legs, if that feels good in down dog, or coming straight to kneeling. And resting down. Inhale, rising up. Going to finish the battle with a wild thing posture. You can do exactly what we did at the beginning, the variation where we took the knee up and dropped over into sitting on the floor or resting on a shin. Or you can come with me and try it from downward facing dog. So pressing into the ground, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Everybody's now lifting their right leg out behind them, bending the knee and dropping that foot over to the hips. Pressing into the left hand, okay? With a leap of faith, you flip yourself over and open out into this lovely stretch. If this doesn't work out, come to sitting and find the posture sitting on the ground. When you're ready to, you can flip yourself back over. Again, you can do that by sitting on the ground and rolling over. So you're now back in tabletop or downward facing dog. Summon your energy, ready to do this the other way round. It's the left foot now that's going to lift up into the sky. Left foot gets heavy and drops over towards that right hip. Press into the right hand. Find the floor with that right foot and enjoy the opening of the heart, stretching out through the top hand, the top fingers, celebrating, lifting the heart, lifting the hips, and then flipping yourself back over or rolling over and come to kneeling. So everybody sitting back on their heels, if that's okay for you, otherwise coming to sitting in a comfortable position. The final posture is called fallen warrior or dying warrior. You might be glad to know involves lying on the floor. Bring your knees over to the left side of your mat. So right over to the left, drop the right hip down, so the right hip is in the centre of the mat, and face the top of your mat. So I want you to lower yourself down onto your front. Okay, this might take a little bit of adjustment to find a comfortable way of lying. The hands can be cactus pose with the arms, or it might be nice to take the arms out in a T shape. Rest down on that right cheek and release down into the floor. You can stay with the legs just as they are, or there's an option to stretch the legs out in front of you in the same direction that you're looking. And if that feels comfortable, you might like to try bringing the top foot, the left foot, down towards the mat. So you've now got a 90-degree angle in the legs and you are spread out on the floor. Wherever you've ended up in this twist, see what you can do to release down into it. So Mahishasura falls at the feet of Durga. She is often seen with one foot standing on him, dominating. Good overpowers evil. Release down into the floor. Nice deep breaths. Closing the eyes if you want to. Finish with a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Bend the knees. Bring the hands closer to the body. Push yourself up. And then coming back into kneeling, take your knees over to the other side of the mat. Again, I'm going to turn around and drop onto the left hip. So left hip is in the centre of the mat. You turn to face the top of your mat and ease yourself down to lying on your tummy. Taking the arms out or finding a comfortable position for the arms to be in. You can stay here with the knees stacked, or you can take the feet out in front of you. Maybe if you want to try it, that bottom foot stretches down to the bottom of the mat so that your legs scissor open 90 degrees. Okay, if that's not right for you, you bend the knees again. Try one of the other options. And release down. Maybe closing the eyes. Accept defeat. Mahishasura looks up into the eyes of Durga and realizes that he has been conquered by the power of love. Her compassion, her love for the world has overruled his evil reign. See what you can do here to let go of tension, to release down into the floor. And then starting to press yourself back up to sitting. Come to kneeling. If this is not okay for you to sit back on your heels, then come to cross-legged or legs out in front. We're going to take a final bow to Durga. Bringing the hands to the heart. Inhale here. Exhale, sweep the arms out behind you and clasp the hands together. Got a choice here. You could hold opposite wrists or elbows, or you might like to interlink the fingers, perhaps pointing the index fingers and left thumb over right, taking Kali Mudra. So open the heart, lift up on an inhale. Exhale, bow forwards and lift those arms up. So this is a lovely shoulder stretch. Might be more comfortable for you to hold opposite wrists, remember. Inhale, exhale here. See if you can lift the hands a little higher. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Head down towards the floor. Deepest respect for Goddess Durga, the Devi, the Divine Mother. Inhale, sweep the hands forward and up. Open the palms to the sky and bring them back in front of the heart. Then you'll be glad to know you can gather together whatever you need to make yourself comfortable for relaxation. So you might want to put on extra layers, you might not want to today. Depends how warm you've got during that practice. You can lie with the legs straight, drop the feet out to the sides, palms face the sky. And you know, if that's not comfortable, try to keep the feet flat on the floor and rest the knees together. I'm going to take you through a guided relaxation, a meditation. So if you prefer, you can come to sitting at any point. Have a final fidget. Gently allow the eyes to close. Relax the shoulders. Relax the jaw. Tongue is soft. Skin on the face is soft. Limbs are heavy. Hips wide. Release all tension with every exhale as you sink deeply into the support of the earth. Nice, deep, slow breaths here. Meditating on the Goddess Durga can help empower you when you need to find inner strength and courage. I want you to visualize Durga before you. See her seated on her lion or tiger, however she comes to you. Her long black hair flowing, dressed in a scarlet silk sari with a crown on her head and jewels around her neck and on her many magnificent arms, each one holding a weapon to fight against ignorance and darkness and evil. A bow, a sword, a mace, a discus, a trident. See also that she offers a lotus blossom, the symbol of awakening from ignorance into wisdom. Feel her energy surround you. Feel the Shakti. Offer your salutations to her. Welcome her. Ask Durga, what is it that you need to do? What change do you need to make? Which decision is there for you? Ask for her advice. Ask from your heart and welcome her answer. Lying now in stillness and silence, don't force any thought in particular to come to mind or wait for something to arise. If nothing comes to mind, invite yourself to release and relax a little more. Drop further into this meditation. Use the exhales to sink down deeper and deeper. Perhaps a thought will come to you later when you are ready. Feel deep gratitude to the Mother of the universe, of all creation. Thank her for her strength, her courage, her peaceful love and blessings, for her support, not just now, but on your journey throughout your life. Say to yourself, may love and grace dissolve all inner and outer obstacles. Offer your thanks to Durga and breathe in her energy. Strength, courage, resilience, fortitude, and most of all, love. As you exhale, feel that peaceful, loving strength flow out through your whole body, out into the world. Know that when you come out of this meditation, this strength and power, this energy of the goddess will come with you. Slowly letting go of her image now. Starting to let your inhales deepen and small movements come into the body. Having a stretch or a yawn. Making your way onto your side if you are lying down and pressing yourself up to a seated position. Bringing your hands to your heart. Inhaling, offering your arms out and up to the Divine Mother, drawing that energy in, the hands come together and come back down to the heart space. And we'll take an Om Shanti 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 together. Inhaling in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, perfect peace. Namaste.